15 years ago, in this building, the words hold back, budget cuts, department cuts used to bounce off these walls left and right. It was just the times we were in. We didn't have enough revenue, and we couldn't meet our budget needs, and that was just our reality. And so hard decisions had to be made. And I can remember being in those committee meetings, and nobody, I mean, not even the most hawkish budget legislator, felt good about what we were doing back then, because we knew those holdbacks and budget cuts were going to result in long-term harm to our K through 12 system, our universities, our colleges, our infrastructure. But hard decisions had to be made. In fact, we had rainy day funds that we often bypassed, wouldn't use, and it was because we didn't know how deep the hole was going to go. But here's something else that you would hear just as frequently as those terms, holdbacks, budget holdbacks, and budget cuts. It was legislators saying, but when we have the money, we'll do right by our schools, and we'll do right by higher education. We'll take care of these budgets then. Well, we've got the money now. The question that we need to answer as a body is, how do we spend this money? Where do we allocate it the most strategically to help Idaho families, the most effectively, and how do we do it consistent with the way Idaho families would have us do it? Well, I think we can all agree that regardless of how we spend it and how we each think it should be done, $1.9 billion presents an historic opportunity for us to do things right. So what should we do with it? Well, this bill will take $600 million of that and commit it to a tax cut, an income tax and a corporate tax cut, the vast majority of which will go to those who need it least. $350 million of that $600 million will be a rebate. Most will get $75, $150. Others can talk about the specific numbers that'll go to Idaho families. It's enough money to fill your gas tank and maybe go to dinner. That money, that rebate, will be spent within about a 3-hour period. And then it's gone. Won't be very memorable. It'll be about as memorable as that $50 or $60 check that I think we got last year. I don't even remember the amount. I don't remember what I spent it on. It's not what my constituents are asking me for. I can guarantee it, and if we did a poll and we did it in a way that nobody had to raise their hands in this body, I can guarantee that none of you have had your constituents knocking on your door, sending you emails, talking to you in the grocery store about the need to reduce their income tax rate or the need to reduce corporate tax rates. What they have been talking to you about is the grocery tax, likely. But I know they're talking to you about their property taxes. That subject comes up so often in Pocatello, I can almost predict it. And I don't even think we're facing what many property owners are facing in this state with their property taxes. It is front of mind. I understand somebody came here and presented prior to the session starting, somebody who had expertise on property tax and said that relatively speaking, Idaho was doing pretty good with property tax. I don't know what to make of that. It feels a little like a doctor telling me that when I show up with extreme pain, that the doctor can find no objective evidence, so I don't really have pain. I don't know what to do with that. It's pain. I feel it. That's what our constituents are telling us, is that they are feeling the pain of property tax and they want us to address it, and we haven't done it. We're making a choice to spend $600 million on this. I think tax relief very definitely should be part of what we do with this money. It is only right. It is only fair. But there's a lot of other things Idahoans want done with this money. They are worried about their schools. They are worried about teachers leaving and not coming back. And the cost of that to our school districts is enormous. Having to retrain teachers, having to find them and hire them. Having paraprofessionals not willing to stay in public education because they can make more money. There are so many things. That's just education and just a part of the things that we could spend in education. There are so many things that we need to do with this money. My biggest concern is that right out the gate, we've taken $600 million off the table. We're committing. We cannot claw it back. We cannot say later in this session, oh, I wish we would have just gone with the corporate and income tax rate reductions and $250 million and not done the one-time rebate. We can't do that once we vote for this bill. We've committed $600 million, and that's something we'll have to live with. We don't want to make that commitment, then realize we could have been more strategic, more effective in how we spent the money, and more importantly, and perhaps most importantly, done it, spent it, committed it towards property tax relief, towards grocery tax credit in a way that's more consistent with what Idaho working families want. Thank you.